Would I be the asshole for asking my dad to divorce his wife because she's ruining our lives? Throw away cause my dad knows my main. My parents divorced 6 years ago. Me, 15 female, and my sisters, 13 female, dad, 42 male, remarried last year to Nina, 32 female. She was nice at first but then everything started changing because of her. She took over most of the cooking. It's not that she's a bad cook, but we don't like many things she cooks. She's asked what meals we like and she'll cook them sometimes, but mostly it's things that my dad and her like. When my sister and I complain, my dad says that we need to eat more healthy and that it's not good for us to be so picky. In the past, my dad used to cook himself a meal and make separate meals for us based on what we liked because he knew we didn't like what he ate. I asked why can't we just keep doing that? He said it wasn't sustainable because he was spending more than 2 hours doing that, and now it doesn't make sense for 2 people to be cooking in the kitchen at the same time, and if Nina already wants to be in the kitchen making dinner for everyone, it saves time and he doesn't want to get in her way. He said if we really hate what she's cooked, they won't force us to eat it and we're more than welcome to make our own arrangements like sandwiches. We don't know how to cook. He said he's always been willing to teach us but just that we never wanted to learn. Well, our mom didn't teach us either, so how is it our fault? He admits he's partly to blame for just getting pizza or fast food in the past when he was too tired after work to cook, but he wants to improve things now and make sure we're getting proper nutrition. But I miss that and I don't think it's fair that she gets to make what she wants. It's not just that, in the past, he used to come into our mom's place to wait or help pack our things when we visited him. We go over every weekend and Wednesdays. Now he just waits in the car or on the porch, he never comes inside. He said it's because we're old enough to pack our own stuff now, but I'm pretty sure that's not why. In the past we went on 2 family vacations which were super fun. He stopped doing that ever since he started dating Nina. I asked Dad why and he confessed that he was never comfortable with it, but he did it because it made us happy and he liked seeing that. But now that he's married, he thinks it's not appropriate and that there need to be boundaries, like my parents were married 10 years, and even after the divorce he'd be in my mom's place. Why do there need to be boundaries now? He's just coming inside, it's not a big deal. We're still a family to me and my sister. I don't like that he's stopped acting like it just because of his new wife. I feel like if he divorced her we'd be way happier. Our happiness used to come first to him and now I feel it doesn't. Nina's not mean to us but I feel like she's ruined everything. We were a family before she ever came into the picture so she has no right to mess with that and change it all. I just want things back the way they were. You are the asshole. You and your sister are being very bratty. You can learn to cook for yourself. My grandmother always told me, can you read? Well then you can cook. And you are absolutely old enough to pack your own stuff. Your dad is happy, and it really doesn't sound like he's stopped being a good father to you. He has just stopped indulging your entitled, spoiled behavior. So you'd rather your dad be unhappy than actually learn to do things you should be doing by yourself by now? You said, if he divorced her we would be happier. So his happiness doesn't matter to you? That's horrible. Grow up. Do better. Wow. You are spoiled rotten, completely useless, and have insane, out of proportion reactions to completely normal parenting. Learn to cook, take responsibility for yourself. You are the asshole. You are the asshole. Look, not only is he remarried, but you're both teenagers now. You were 9 and 7 at the time of the divorce. Of course your dad was more hands-on. Even if you parents were still married, your life and treatment would be changing. Your parents together would be encouraging some self-reliance, and not pandering when unnecessary due to time constraints on lazy eating. You are placing the blame for everything you don't like in your life on Nina. You've given us no reason to think this is anything other than spoiled petulance. Life is hard, we get it. Divorce is hard, we get it. But, you need to grow up. Allow your dad to encourage you to grow up and be a member of society, i.e. this includes your household. Her crimes are cooking food you don't like and you not wanting to learn to cook yourself, your dad not packing for you when you are 13 and 15, and your dad not wanting to go on holiday with his ex-wife? You are the asshole. TBF. Most teens are lil sociopaths for to end the brain not being fully formed, so you'll hopefully grow out of it in 10-ish years. Your dad is right, and as cliché as it sounds, you will understand it one day. Am I the asshole for hurting my friend's feelings at her engagement party? I never wanted kids. My husband too. But life happened and now we care for my 2 little nephews. 5-year-old twins. It was an easy decision for the both of us. I'm not saying I regret anything but it's not easy. especially with little kids that are traumatized. Many of our friends, many who are child-free, have been great. They're especially understanding to the fact that though we didn't give birth to them, we are now parents and the kids are our first priority. They also understand that we can't hire babysitters or ask anyone else to watch the kids due to several reasons. We had to skip one wedding, and another couple allowed us to bring the boys to their originally child-free wedding. Both couples were happy and there are no hard feelings between us. Now, another friend is getting married and she knows what's up as well. When we declined her invitation to her engagement party that would just be adults due to alcohol and other kinds of adult activities, she called me and begged me to come. I said I'd try my best. My husband and I decided that he would watch the kids on his own while I went. While I was getting ready, the boys were watching me and they started to cry because they realized I was going out. This caused me to be late. I apologized to her and while she said it was okay, I could tell she was slightly hurt. Regardless, I tried to have a good time with her and other friends. I didn't drink any alcohol but she kept trying to make me. Then my husband texted me a couple hours and saying that one nephew is refusing to eat and the other is screaming. I stepped outside for 10 minutes to call them and when the boys calmed down enough, I went back in. At this point, my friend looked angry. I had apparently missed a speech. She said I ruined the entire night by stressing her out with my attitude. She even accused me of thinking that I was better than her because I'm a parent now and she isn't. I told her that isn't true and I didn't mean to ruin her night but I'm sorry. She told me to fuck off and said something like, "It's a few hours. Those kids don't have to be on your mind all the time." And I was just going to leave but I felt so insulted. I told her that she can't put her night being ruined on me and I'm sorry she had a terrible night because I didn't drink and because I refused to forget about my kids for a couple hours but her feeling hurt is not my responsibility and she can figure it out herself. She started crying and our friends, kindly, told me to just leave. While they all understand my position, they think I should apologize because it's her wedding. And I did hurt her after all. I haven't been thinking about this much but I have some free time and I just got a text from said friend telling me that I'm uninvited from her actual wedding. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You say your friends understand, even her, but they clearly don't, especially her. Someone being late to a party is not a reason for the host to be upset. Someone not drinking at a party is not a reason for the host to be upset. Someone stepping out for a few minutes is not a reason for the host to be upset. Every friend that thinks you ruined her party and hurt her doesn't get it. They are the assholes. You owe none of them an apology. But you need to ask yourself if they still deserve a space in your life. That type of negativity is never needed, especially in your situation. Not the asshole. Your friend is incredibly selfish and her night being ruined is on her and her entitled attitude, not on you. Not the asshole at all. When we adopted our nephew, 3 at the time, we thought he would be okay at daycare because he was previously going. He screamed and cried for hours in a way that breaks your heart, so much so that we couldn't leave. At least one of us needed to be with him. Your friend doesn't understand this, and that's okay. But it's not okay for her to treat you like your current situation isn't important. Time to find some new friends with kids. Not the asshole, she made you the center of her event by centering you at every turn. She begged you to come knowing you have different responsibilities now. You didn't take the call in the middle of the event. You stepped away. You told her you weren't drinking, and she kept pushing. It seems like she has more pinned-up feelings than she is leading on. Not the asshole. My best friend missed my bridal shower because their kid shit themselves in their car seat and the dad was too busy puking in a bush from the smell to help. I thought it was hilarious. Her sitter also just no-showed on the wedding day so they snuck their 1-year-old into my wedding and hid them under a table. Literally no one cared. Your friend's just kind of a dick. Am I the asshole for doing exactly what my wife said? Today a buddy of mine, 24 male, and another buddy of mine, 24 m, had a get-together of about 15 people, 25 including plus ones. My wife and I have a 2 Malio son. Prior to going to this get-together we brought a bottle worth and 1 diaper and the agreement that I would take care of our son all night so she could sleep really good. We live 1 house down, with the intent of making an appearance hanging out, grabbing something to eat and leaving. The food wasn't done for probably about an hour after we showed up. Smoked ribs weren't quite done. After about 3 hours of me cutting and talking with people I work with, the baby started fussing. My wife said he was probably hungry and that she was going to go to the house and feed him and she would see me there and to make sure I ate. I asked her if she wanted me to bring her a plate, and she said no. I brought her a plate of what food was left, because if I didn't she would have been upset. This whole time I had one mixed drink, 2 beers and 2 shots. The time between she left and the time that I walked home was about 30 Malines. After coming home she refused to let me take our son so she could do whatever it is she wanted to do because she said that I was too drunk to care for our son all night. I admit I was on the tipsy side, but was far from drunk. She was mad that I came home later than her, and told me to go away. That she didn't want to be around me. So I did exactly that. I went into the garage and continued building and finishing the clothes rack for our son. Then the neighbors invited me to play darts in the garage. We only played 2 games and we share an adjoining garage wall. My wife said she was locking the house up for the night so she could sleep. I told her I was in the garage and to not lock the garage door. She locked the house completely even though I said not to. Only after an hour of questioning why she locked the garage door and why she was really upset with me did she come unlock the door. Am I the asshole for doing exactly what she said by leaving her alone? Edit. We came home about 7:38. She wasn't intending on going to bed prior to 10 p.m. So she didn't expect me to take care of the baby alone until at least after 10 p.m. Edit 2. Normally the agreement is I take care of the baby from 10 p.m. 3 a.m. and she covers 330 am 738 am. I was offering to care for the baby the entirety of the night, which meant I slept 0 hours because I sleep so heavily I don't hear the baby when he wakes up. Edit. The party was not next door. The party was across the street in a house down. I was in my garage, that shares an adjoining garage wall, with a different neighbor playing darts. I never went back to the party or left my house after I was home. To be honest, it doesn't sound like she's mad at you for leaving her alone. She's mad because you decided to get drunk instead of looking after the baby as agreed. You got drunk at the party instead of honoring your agreement to take over baby duties and give her a rest. It baffles me that you can't see what the issue is and why she's pissed off. You are the asshole. You are the asshole. I only had 5 drinks, that's like nothing. Shut up. You were too drunk to take care of the baby. You let her down. You are the asshole. For making a promise you will take care over your kid through the night and then merrily getting drunk at the party. She is exhausted. She desperately needs some sleep. You don't give a shit and cannot understand why she is so upset. Facepalm. You get drunk. Aren't allowed to hold your kid because of how intoxicated you are, and that doesn't sink in at all? You are the asshole. You have a baby. Time to man up and be responsible. Am I the asshole for staying in touch with my girlfriend's sister after we broke up? So I was dating this girl, Sam. She's 23. We had known each other for a couple years and we were good friends, until we started dating, and only a few months later we decided to live together. Then she left her family's house and moved in with me. Everything was great for a while. We enjoyed our time, had a lot of fun and made lots of plans, and a good part of the time, her sister, Holly, who is 17, was with us. She's everything to Sam and I absolutely understand. There's nothing not to like about Holly. She's a sweetheart. She was always welcome at any time. However, time showed us that what me and Sam had in common was getting obfuscated when in comparison to our differences, and not the healthy amount, like with people that complete each other, be it as simple as which cereal to buy, like I couldn't buy anything that wasn't healthy, or eat junk food on a Friday night. Or something important like where to spend our money would always arise some arguments. We had a few fights, some of them Holly witnessed and seemed to think we were overreacting. Then we broke up. Sam moved back with her family and since then she's been avoiding me all the time. But her sister still wants to hang out like nothing happened. She frequently comes directly to my house when she leaves school and stays a few hours before going home. She even spent 2 or 3 nights at my place at weekends. One day she stayed till night and I accompanied her home. When we got there my ex-mother-in-law, Lindsay, was in the front porch waiting for her. Holly entered her house, and Lindsay took the chance to talk to me about how Sam doesn't like the idea of Holly spending so much time with me even after we broke up, said she found it weird, even more for her to sleep at her ex-boyfriend's place and that I'm probably using her sister to get under her skin. I also find it very unusual, but I like the company. Before our breakup, I had invited them both to go to a family meeting that was going to happen in a few months. Now it's only a couple days away. It's gonna be a whole week in a farm and almost my entire family will be there. And Holly still wants to go after everything. I just can't find a way to bring up limits. I already asked her if she doesn't find it weird for us to be like that since I broke up with Sam. That clearly holds a grudge as she's avoiding seeing me. Holly said it doesn't bother her and we don't need to stop seeing each other because it didn't work with her sister. I know she kind of has a point, but what will my ex-girlfriend's parents think of me? What will my family think if I show up with my sister-in-law? Will I be a bigger asshole if I stop hanging out with her or if I leave things as they are knowing my ex doesn't like it? Edit. For the record, I'm 22. Just thought it would be better to add after asked about it in the comments. Holly has a crush. Be very careful. Info. How old are you? You are the asshole. Move on. YTA. You're old enough to know better. Info. Were you guys actually married?